principal for Andretti and also chief technical officer. So
it's quite a mouthful, huh?
I know, right? You carry many hats.
Yeah.
Indeed. So thank you so much, Roger, for your time. So as part of my page, I encourage people to pursue careers within the STEM field. And not many people are familiar about the careers within motorsport. So I'd love for you to give a breakdown of the various roles that are
maybe quickly, just from myself. I'm an engineer.
Yes.
I run the team. But I'm a graduate of Loughborough and Cranfield universities, and also a fellow of the Institute of Mechanical Engineers as well. So, I've been around engineering professionally for over 30 years now.
Yes.
And, motorsport is such a diverse career choice. I mean, you've got everything from mechanical engineers, aeronautical engineers, systems engineers, electronics, electrical, computer science, mathematics. So, any of the classical engineering degrees are very applicable in motorsport, but also, we're a business.
Yes.
So we need people that understand communication and understand marketing. We need legal people. So I think like any business, we can cover pretty much every career path. And, what I've discovered now is that a lot of the things I really wish I'd paid attention to on my degree, I'm really using now. So like the 1 hour a week I did of legal studies, I really should have done a lot more.
Yes.
And, so whilst engineering may be your core subject, you have to be open-minded. You have to have a diverse understanding of what's going on. And, there are so many opportunities, and motorsport, the thing that's so exciting for me, it's out there at the pinnacle, the forefront of technology. We're pushing the boundaries every weekend. And the cool thing is, as you develop, whether it's new strategies, new parts for the race car, whatever it might be, you're out there testing them week in, week out.
Yes.
You're immediately seeing your performance, hopeful performance anyhow. Not everything works first time, but, it's a really interesting career. And the other thing it does is it teaches you about risk.
Yes.
To be in motorsport, you can't be risk adverse.
Yes.
But also you can't be reckless either. So you got to find that right balance. And, we talk about in mechanical engineering or civil engineering, safety factors. We have safety factors within design, but you also have safety factors in how much risk we're going to take on the racetrack. So it's super exciting and it's very dynamic.
Fantastic. And on the topic of technology, how are you leveraging emerging technologies like AI, data science to help drive team performance?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things about motorsport is we generate a tremendous amount of data.
Yes.
Gigabytes, if not terabytes of information across a race weekend and definitely across the race season. And, one of the things we talk about is big data, data mining. How do we dive into all the information that we've got? How do we extract the relevant information? And, AI is very much an emerging technology within motorsport. Motorsport is a great application of it. I mean, we're looking at some things right now, internally with our own team, within our software group, about how can we use AI to get a better understanding of the car performance, get a better understanding of what our competition is doing.
Yes.
Piece that together and then try and find advantages for the race team. So, there's a lot of stuff we do there. I mean, we have a driver in the loop simulator in our race team operations base in Banbury. We're on that continuously. It's probably running 4, if not 5 days a week. We're using a variety of different drivers. It's not about learning tracks.
Okay.
These guys are really good. They can learn the track in 3 or 4 laps. What it is about, can we test in the virtual world?
Yes.
Because it's a lot easier to test in the virtual world than it is to test in the real world.
Yes.
You don't have to get on an airplane. You don't have to get a rental car. You don't have to go and stay in a hotel room. You don't lose days. It's so efficient. COVID taught us a lot about being efficient, but we were actually working super well with that prior to it. We have engineers, scattered out through Europe. I'm based in the USA. But, using technology has allowed us to come together super quickly. So when everybody was rushing around trying to learn how to do a Zoom meeting, we already had advanced degrees in that. So, it's just really allowed us to be efficient. We're able to bring our engineers to the simulator from across Europe virtually.
Yes.
So we don't actually physically have to be there. We've developed techniques, we've developed technology on how we can do data sharing, how we can do analysis, how we can do communications. So, this all comes from, what we learned at school, what we learned at university, and really having the open-mindedness to say, well, I think there's a solution there, as opposed to, no, I just can't do that.
Yeah. So, it seems as though data, virtual reality.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember going back to 2008 and using VR goggles to really get an understanding what
2008?
What a new race car design would look like. Yeah. I was able to put on the VR goggles and virtually see what the new race car would do. And we were using it to check things like sight lines. Could we make this was a sports car, could we make the front wheel arches smaller, higher, lower, whatever it is? Could the drivers see the corner apexes? Yes. And we were doing it in 2008 with VR goggles.
Wow,
so,
and imagine what it's like now with the new super glasses, VR glasses.
When I did my degree, when I did my master's thesis, I was doing it around lap time simulation. So the prediction of how a race car would perform. This was in 1992 or 1991.
Wow.
Riding in Fortran 77, which is probably a computer language most people have never heard of
it.
But, it was trying to understand how a car would perform.
Yes.
Because there's so much, you can run so many different configurations, so many different tests of the race car without even turning a wheel. You're just running a computer. So it's fascinating what technology is allowing us to do, how we can take the advantages of it. And, it gives you so many exciting careers. I mean, people think engineering is a bit of a staid career. It's not very exciting. There's way more glamorous things to do. But honestly, engineering can be really, really glamorous. When you're pushing the boundaries, you get so excited, you lose track of what the time is.
Yes.
Before you know it, it's midnight and you're like, oh, maybe I should be going home. But I want to do one more thing.
Absolutely.
So, what I see here in our garage is the motivation of our engineers. We're being judged every single race. It's not about a performance review once a year. It's about a performance review every 2 weeks.
Yes.
And that for me is what makes motorsport engineering in particular so attractive.
And how are you feeling about the introduction of Gen 4? Which is apparently coming in about a year and a half. Are you excited about that?
Absolutely. I mean, that's going to be a massive challenge for us.
Okay.
There's going to be so much information coming at us. It's a lot more powerful. It's got downforce. It's got a lot more grip. It's got new tires. We're going to have to model all of this in the virtual world. We need to understand how the tire works in reality and then how it works virtually.
Yes.
And then we need to do a lot of correlation work to ensure that our mathematical models are matching the reality of it. And that's where the simulator comes in all the time. So we can do lap after lap after lap, tuning our models. For everybody out there, seriously have a look at motorsport as a great career. We're always after young, motivated engineers. Doesn't matter where you come from. We just want the best.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Roger.
You're welcome. Thank you.